Good evening and welcome to the Channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US military has released footage of a Russian jet crashing into one of its drones over the Black Sea. The US said the damage to the large drone meant it had to be brought down into the water near Ukraine on Tuesday. Russia denied its Su-27 fighter jet clipped the propeller of the drone, but the video appears to back up the American version of events. Analysts say it was in the Pentagon's interest to release the video, not least to verify its version of events. The Pentagon say they are looking at what more video could be released. Russian media say at least one person has been killed and 2 more injured in a fire at a building used by Russia's Federal Security Service in the southern city of Rostov-on-Don. Here, doorbell camera footage showing the moment an explosion at the FSB's Regional Border Patrol Section building. Rostov's regional governor said a short circuit appeared to have caused the fire, which ignited fuel tanks. The resulting fire was visible for miles around the city. A farmers' party has stunned Dutch politics and is set to be the biggest party in the upper house of parliament after provincial elections.
Echt zo overweldigend.
The farmer citizen movement was only set up in 2019 in the wake of widespread farmers' protests. But with most votes counted, they're due to win 15 seats of the Senate's seats with almost 20% of the vote. The BBB aims to fight government plans to slash nitrogen emissions by dramatically reducing livestock numbers and buying out thousands of farms. But its appeal has spread rapidly beyond farmers on a populist platform that represents traditional conservative Dutch social and moral values. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting Niger on the second leg of his brief tour of African nations.
We actually hosted a ministerial meeting of...
Here, speaking at a news conference in Addis Ababa earlier, he is expected to announce more US support for Niger's fight against a jihadist insurgency that has forced millions of people from their homes. Mr. Blinken is one of many US officials who have been visiting the continent in recent months, with fears the United States has been losing influence in Africa to China and Russia. The armed forces, too, are attempting to remain influential to African countries. Here, US soldiers training military units in Ghana.
To drive your decision-making on how you engage that.
Police and demonstrators have clashed again in Senegal's capital, Dakar, ahead of a court case involving the opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, who has gained widespread support amongst young people. Police fired tear gas at hundreds of Sonko supporters as they trailed vehicles taking him to a court for the resumption of a libel case against him. Protesters burned tyres in the streets and hurled stones at police. European markets opened higher on Thursday after troubled bank Credit Suisse secured a £45 billion funding deal. Stock markets across the UK, France and Germany rebounded, while Credit Suisse's share price surged by 40%. Overnight, Credit Suisse said it would borrow up to 50 billion francs from Switzerland's central bank to shore up its finances. Fears that Credit Suisse's issues could cause a wider banking crisis had sent stock markets tumbling on Wednesday. And in Oman's vast, desolate desert, a giant painting has recently emerged next to the site of the Ibri 2 solar power plant. The art shows a small child igniting a light bulb, which is powered by a huge 6-kilometre-long solar farm. The 100-metre piece of art is the work of Swiss-French artist Saip. He was invited by the Swiss embassy in Oman to send a message towards a more sustainable future.
The artwork represents the little kids playing with the energy, the solar energy. And you know, this is kind of magic. When you arrive on site, you see this kind of panel and you can see the end, and then from that energy is coming. This is something magical for me, you know, and it was very interesting and inspiring for me to see how we could imagine a new future. So I worked in a solar farm in Ibri 2, which is the biggest solar farm in Oman.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios in Lagos.